Hi, everyone. My name is Rose.
And I'm Jack.
Welcome to the Listening English podcast. And today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic: how to introduce yourself or tell me about yourself.
That's a topic almost everyone faces at some point in life.
Exactly. Whether you're meeting someone for the first time, attending a job interview, joining a new school, entering a college classroom, or even making new friends online, sooner or later someone asks a simple question.
Tell me about yourself.
It sounds easy, doesn't it?
It really does. But surprisingly, many people get nervous when they hear those 4 words.
That's true. They suddenly forget what to say. Their mind becomes blank.
Have you ever experienced that?
Maybe you've practiced English for months. Maybe you know hundreds of English words. But when someone asks, "Tell me about yourself," you freeze.
And then you start saying things like, my name is, I am from,
Yes, I think many people can relate to that.
But here's something interesting. The problem is usually not your English.
Really?
Yes, most of the time, the real problem is that people don't know what information to share and how to organize it.
That's a great point.
Think about this for a moment. If someone gave you a book and asked you to describe it in 1 minute, would you tell them every single page?
Of course not.
Exactly. You would choose the most important information first.
And introducing yourself works the same way.
Today, we are going to show you how to make self-introductions simple, natural, and memorable.
We will also discuss why some introductions are instantly interesting while others are quickly forgotten.
And later in this episode, we are going to reveal a surprisingly simple technique that many confident speakers use without even realizing it.
That's something you'll definitely want to hear.
We will also share real-life examples, common mistakes, and a few practical tips you can start using today.
And here's a question for our listeners.
Imagine you're meeting your favorite actor, your dream employer, or a new friend. You only have 30 seconds to introduce yourself.
What would you say?
That's not as easy as it sounds, is it?
Not at all.
But don't worry. By the end of today's podcast, you'll have a much clearer idea of how to answer the question, "Tell me about yourself."
And you may even discover that introducing yourself can be enjoyable.
That's right. Sometimes a great conversation starts with a great introduction.
So grab a cup of coffee, relax, and join us as we explore one of the most useful communication skills you can learn.
Because what you're about to discover might completely change the way you introduce yourself.
Let's get started.
So, Rose, where do people usually hear the question, "Tell me about yourself"?
That's a great question. It can happen almost anywhere. In a job interview, on the first day of school, during a college presentation, at a networking event, or even when meeting someone new at a party.
Right? And what's interesting is that many people think they need a perfect answer.
Exactly. But there is no perfect answer. There is only an appropriate answer for the situation.
Can you explain that a little more?
Sure. Imagine you're at a job interview. If the interviewer asks you to tell them about yourself, they probably want to know about your education, skills, and experience.
But if you're meeting a new friend, you might talk more about your hobbies, interests, and personality.
That's right. The context changes the answer.
You know, that reminds me of a funny story.
Really?
A friend of mine once attended a job interview. The interviewer asked, "Tell me about yourself." My friend became so nervous that he started talking about his favorite football team for 5 minutes.
That's not exactly what the interviewer wanted to hear.
Not at all. He later realized he answered the wrong question.
And that's a common mistake. Many people either share too much information or too little.
So what should people actually include?
A simple structure can help. Start with who you are. Then talk about what you do. After that, mention something interesting about yourself.
That sounds easy to remember.
It is, for example, "Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a university student studying biology. In my free time, I enjoy photography and hiking."
Short, clear, and interesting.
Exactly. The goal is not to tell your entire life story.
Think about this for a moment. When someone asks you to introduce yourself, they are not asking for every detail about your life.
They are looking for a quick picture of who you are.
That's a powerful idea.
Here's another example. Imagine you're a beginner English learner.
Okay.
You could say, "Hello, my name is Ahmed. I'm from Egypt. I'm learning English because I want to travel and meet people from different countries."
That's simple, natural, and easy to understand.
Exactly. And notice something important.
What's that?
The introduction includes a reason.
Interesting.
People remember reasons. They remember motivations. They remember stories.
That's true. If someone says, I'm learning English because I want to work abroad, that's more memorable than simply saying, I'm learning English.
Absolutely.
Here's a question for our listeners. If someone asked you why you're learning English, what would you say?
Think about your answer before continuing.
And while you're thinking, let's talk about confidence.
That's something many people struggle with.
They often believe confident people are born confident.
But that's a myth.
Really,
Yes, most confident speakers were once nervous beginners.
that's encouraging.
In fact, even famous speakers have talked about their fears.
That's surprising.
It is. Many successful people learned confidence through practice, not talent.
So confidence comes after action, not before it.
Exactly.
That's worth repeating.
When introducing yourself, don't wait until you feel completely confident. Practice first, and confidence will gradually follow.
I like that.
Here's another mistake people make.
Let me guess, they try to sound too impressive.
Yes,
I knew it.
some people think they need big words and complicated sentences.
But simple language is often more effective.
Exactly. Imagine 2 introductions.
Okay,
The first person says, "I am an enthusiastic individual possessing multifaceted competencies and diverse aspirations."
that sounds very formal.
The second person says, "I'm passionate about learning new things and improving myself every day."
I understand the second one immediately.
Most people do.
That's an important lesson for English learners.
Communication is not about sounding complicated.
It's about being understood.
Exactly.
And here's something interesting. Many people worry about making grammar mistakes.
That's true.
But do you know what most listeners pay attention to?
What?
Your energy, your clarity, and your confidence.
That's a great point.
Small mistakes are usually forgotten.
But a genuine introduction is remembered.
You know, this reminds me of something I once heard.
What's that?
People may forget your exact words, but they often remember how you made them feel.
I love that idea.
So when introducing yourself, don't focus only on information.
Focus on connection.
Exactly.
And in a moment, we are going to reveal a fascinating psychological reason why first impressions are so powerful.
Plus, we will discuss a surprising mistake that can make even a great introduction less effective.
Trust me, you won't want to miss that.
Before the break, we mentioned something fascinating about first impressions.
Yes, and this is where psychology becomes really interesting.
Most people think others spend a long time analyzing them.
But in reality, first impressions often form very quickly.
Sometimes within just a few seconds.
That's amazing when you think about it.
It really is. The way you introduce yourself can influence how people see you long before they truly know you.
Now, that doesn't mean you need to be perfect.
Exactly, that's a common myth.
Many people believe that one small mistake will ruin everything.
But human beings are much more forgiving than we imagine.
That's true.
In fact, sometimes being slightly imperfect can make you seem more relatable.
Really?
Yes, think about it. Have you ever met someone who seemed absolutely perfect?
Yes.
And sometimes that person can feel distant or difficult to connect with.
That's an interesting observation.
But when someone is genuine, natural, and comfortable being themselves, people often feel more relaxed around them.
I think many listeners can relate to that.
Here's another surprising fact.
Go ahead.
People rarely remember every detail of your introduction.
Really?
Yes, they usually remember 1 or 2 things.
That's important.
Very important.
So instead of trying to share 10 different facts, focus on one memorable detail.
Exactly.
For example, instead of saying, I like movies, music, books, games, sports, traveling, cooking, photography, and drawing.
That's quite a list.
It is.
You could simply say, I'm passionate about photography because I love capturing special moments.
That's much more memorable.
And it creates curiosity.
People might ask, what kind of photography do you enjoy?
And now the conversation continues naturally.
That's one of the hidden secrets of great introductions.
Don't try to finish the conversation.
Start the conversation.
Wow, that's powerful.
Think about that for a moment, listeners.
A good introduction isn't a final answer.
It's an invitation.
Here's another psychological insight.
I'm curious.
Human beings love stories.
That's definitely true.
Since ancient times, people have learned through stories,
Long before social media,
long before television.
long before smartphones.
Exactly.
So when possible, add a tiny story to your introduction.
Can you give an example?
Sure, imagine two people.
Okay,
The first person says, I enjoy learning languages.
nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
But what's the second version?
I started learning English because I wanted to understand my favorite movies without subtitles.
That's instantly more interesting.
Because now there's a story.
And stories create emotional connection.
Exactly.
Here's a fun question.
Let's hear it.
If someone asked you to describe yourself using only 3 words, what would they be?
That's a challenging one.
For many people, it is
Listeners, think about your answer right now.
3 words only.
Maybe you're curious, hardworking, and creative.
Maybe you're kind, adventurous, and optimistic.
There are no perfect answers.
But the exercise helps you understand yourself better.
And self-awareness makes introductions easier.
That's true.
Now let's talk about a mistake that many people don't realize they are making.
This is the one we teased earlier.
Exactly.
So what's the mistake?
Talking only about facts?
Interesting.
Some introductions sound like a list.
Such as,
My name is John. I'm 20 years old. I live in London. I'm a student.
that's not wrong.
No, but it feels incomplete.
Because we don't learn much about the person.
Exactly.
What's a better approach?
Add personality.
For example,
My name is John. I'm a student who loves technology and spends weekends building small projects.
now I can picture that person.
That's the difference.
Facts tell people who you are.
Personality tells people why you're interesting.
I love that distinction.
Me too.
You know, this conversation reminds me of something many listeners may not realize.
What's that?
The goal of introducing yourself is not to impress everyone.
That's a huge insight.
It's to express yourself clearly and honestly.
And when you do that, people get to know the real you.
Exactly.
Coming up next, we are going to discuss practical techniques you can use immediately.
Including a simple formula that can help you create a confident self-introduction in less than 1 minute.
And we will share a challenge that listeners can try today to improve their speaking skills.
Trust us, this next section might be the most useful part of today's episode. Welcome back. We have talked about psychology, first impressions, and common mistakes. Now it's time for something practical.
That's right. Let's focus on what our listeners can actually do starting today.
I love this part because small improvements can create big results over time.
Absolutely. And the first tip is surprisingly simple.
What's that?
Prepare a basic self-introduction before you need it.
That sounds obvious, but many people never do it.
Exactly. They wait until someone asks them to introduce themselves.
And then they panic.
Yes.
So what should this basic introduction include?
A simple 4-step formula.
Let's hear it.
First, your name.
Easy.
Second, what you do.
Student, teacher, engineer, business owner, anything like that.
Third, something you enjoy or care about.
That adds personality.
And fourth, a goal or dream.
That's interesting.
Let me give an example.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a university student. I enjoy reading and learning languages. My goal is to work internationally one day.
That's clear, friendly, and memorable.
Exactly.
And notice that it doesn't use difficult English.
That's a very important lesson.
Many English learners think they need advanced vocabulary.
But clarity is more important than complexity.
Here's another practical tip.
Practice out loud.
Not just in your head.
Exactly.
That's a mistake many learners make.
They think about English, but they don't speak English.
And speaking is a skill.
Just like playing a musical instrument.
The more you practice, the more natural it becomes.
Here's a challenge for our listeners.
I like challenges.
After finishing this podcast, record yourself introducing yourself in English.
Just 1 minute.
That's all.
Then listen to the recording.
You might notice areas you can improve.
Maybe you speak too quickly,
Maybe you pause too much.
or maybe you'll discover that you sound better than you expected.
That's often the case.
Here's another useful technique.
What's that?
The mirror method.
Yes, that's a classic.
Stand in front of a mirror and introduce yourself.
It may feel strange at first,
Very strange for some people.
but it helps you become more comfortable speaking.
And confidence grows through repetition.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about eye contact.
That's important.
When speaking with someone, try to maintain natural eye contact.
Not staring.
Definitely not staring.
That would be a little awkward.
Just natural eye contact that shows you're engaged in the conversation.
Another tip is to smile.
A simple smile can make a huge difference.
It helps you appear friendly and approachable.
And it often helps you feel more relaxed too.
Here's something many people overlook.
What's that?
Your voice.
Interesting.
Try to speak clearly and at a comfortable pace.
You don't need to rush.
In fact, speaking slightly slower often sounds more confident.
That's true.
Think about great speakers.
They rarely race through every sentence.
They pause when necessary.
They give listeners time to understand.
Exactly.
Let's do a quick recap.
Good idea.
Use a simple structure.
Practice regularly.
Focus on clarity, not perfection.
Add personality, not just facts.
Speak clearly and confidently.
And remember that mistakes are part of learning.
That's worth remembering.
Here's one final challenge for our listeners.
I'm curious.
Today, introduce yourself to someone in English,
It could be a friend,
a classmate,
a family member.
or even your phone's voice recorder.
The goal is simple.
Take action.
Because every confident speaker started as a beginner.
And every great conversation starts with a simple introduction.
In our final section, we will bring everything together and leave you with one powerful thought that might change the way you see yourself and your communication skills forever.
We have covered a lot in today's episode.
We certainly have.
We talked about why introducing yourself is such an important skill.
We explored common mistakes people make.
We discussed the psychology behind first impressions.
And we shared practical techniques you can start using immediately.
You know, there's one final idea I'd like our listeners to remember.
I'd love to hear it.
When someone asks you, tell me about yourself, they are not giving you a test.
That's such an important perspective.
They are giving you an opportunity.
An opportunity to share a little piece of who you are.
Exactly.
And sometimes people forget that.
They focus so much on saying the perfect thing that they forget to simply be themselves.
That's true.
Think about this for a moment.
Imagine meeting someone who speaks with honesty, enthusiasm, and authenticity.
Even if their English isn't perfect.
Most people would enjoy talking with them
Absolutely.
because genuine communication is more powerful than perfect communication.
I couldn't agree more.
And here's something inspiring.
Go ahead.
Every person listening to this podcast has a unique story.
That's true.
Your experiences, your dreams, your challenges, and your goals make you different from everyone else.
And that's exactly what makes your introduction interesting.
You don't need to copy anyone else.
You don't need complicated vocabulary.
You don't need a perfect accent
You simply need the courage to speak.
and the willingness to keep improving.
Remember, every conversation begins with a first sentence.
Every friendship begins with a first introduction.
Every opportunity begins with a moment when someone learns who you are.
So don't be afraid of the question, tell me about yourself.
Instead, see it as an invitation
To connect,
an invitation to share.
and an invitation to grow.
Before we finish, here's one last challenge for our listeners.
We are listening.
Today, take 1 minute and introduce yourself in English.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
It just has to be real.
And if you keep practicing, you'll be amazed by how much progress you can make over the next few months.
Exactly.
Small daily improvements create extraordinary results over time.
Thank you for listening to the Listening English podcast.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you in the next podcast.
Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep believing in your ability to grow.
Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.